Hello, guys.
Hiya.
Hello. Nad's coming. She's just heating up a coffee and I'm just squeezing this into place. Got my Dennis the Menace or my Freddy Krueger top on today. Hi, April Hill. What a lovely name that is. April Hill. We like that name. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just pull you all up. RM's Jams, how you doing, dude? Hello and good morning to you both. Katie Johnson, very formal and very polite. Thank you very much. How are you? Oh, and there you all are. Mumsy for Millie Parfit. Is anyone else cold?
These are the only socks I can find.
That's a baby sock.
No, it's not. It's Kiki's.
All right. Morning, Sky Elise, Mumsy for Millie Parfit, Danielle Long, Penzance. Danielle Long, send our love to Cornwall, especially that little peninsula, Penzance, St Ives, Mousel, and all around there.
Love it so much.
Marazion and all that stuff.
That is somewhere.
Hello from Gozo. Where's Gozo?
Oh, I've been to Gozo.
Where is Gozo?
Gozo is in Malta.
Oh wow!
My dad.
Lucy Spiteri.
My dad. We spent
Morning,
3
Jake
months in Gozo.
Did you?
When my dad was shooting the movie Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, I love that movie.
And it was so brilliant. And
I love
we
that
had
movie.
the most wonderful time. And I still remember the water there, so crystal turquoise. Absolutely.
Do you know, I feel sort of...
That was such an amazing summer, actually, because my uncle came out as well with his... Because all the movie stars were in the big hotels.
Yes.
And so Dad traded
Morning,
in
Bex.
the
Morning,
money
Darlene.
he would have got for hotels.
Yeah.
For a hotel room for him, and he rented a apartment thing for me and my sisters and my mum to come out. And then my uncle Naif came out with all his children, his 3 children, because we grew up really close with our cousins, so it was like there was 6 kids really, because we spent all our time together. So my dad would be out filming all day on the movie set, and we'd just hang out by the pool and swim all summer. And then we would go sometimes to location and have lunch there.
Hello from Perth.
Once we were allowed to go, and they had, as you can imagine, this incredible ship for the movie.
Yeah, I remember the ship. I remember the film.
Yeah, well, there was no back to it. Obviously, it was just built around the front. And we went on there and we played on the ship.
The ship where the strange enchantress witch and the strange metal creature that Ray Harryhausen subsequently played. I remember the film vividly.
And Jane Seymour was the actress in it. And it was just...
Morning, everyone.
It was such a special summer, that.
Oh.
You know all those things that you remember when you're a kid on holiday? Like, I remember us being allowed to walk from the pool down to this little corner shop, and us being kind of terrified because there were stray dogs. And it's like, you know, because here we didn't have stray dogs. Yeah, and it was at the time with rabies. So we were like...
the adverts for rabies, there was people frothing at the mouth, weren't there?
And then there was like cats, wild cats. And then we went into this shop and there was no lights, you know, and there was all these cheeses in weird oils and stuff. And I always remember that funny little walk down to that, and the sense of freedom. Sorry, am I being boring?
No, no.
And the sense of freedom of just being in a foreign country and being allowed to go to a little shop because you had your sisters and your 3 cousins with you.
But that's something you experienced. I mean, that experience you had as a child couldn't have been further from anything I experienced. I didn't go abroad until I was 18.
Well,
So I had no sense of that. I remember when I went abroad at about, when I was 17 actually, I remember being bowled over by the fact that everywhere, every interior had tiled floors.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Carpets aren't a thing in Mediterranean countries.
Well, of course, because my dad's Jordanian, we used to go every year to Jordan as well. And so that's where our travelling started. And then because it was really like, because my dad was an actor, and all the films he would do would always happen to be in the summer. So wherever he was doing a movie, that's where our summer holiday would be. So we were really lucky.
Yeah. Well, I love hearing of your story. In fact, as I went round to the corner shop today, I passed your... You're right.
My right eye is really blurred.
Oh, don't say that. That's not good, is it? More blurred than the normal. It's always blurred. Have you put the wrong contact in? You do tend to just shove any old shit in your eye. I was walking back from the shop, and there was Teddy, Nadia's dad, taking out... he's a good man, taking some polystyrene to the recycling box.
People might not know that he lives next door.
He lives next door. I think most people do. And
we do have new people joining us.
as he was walking, we both had a sort of socially distanced chat about what he's going to be talking about in Teddy Talks in the Sunday show tomorrow. And he was there in his yogic pants, looking very cool. And I sometimes get a little bit shy with Teddy because I remember him from those films.
Funny,
sometimes I stand there and I think, hang on a minute,
he's such a movie star.
you were in Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. That for me was as big as Star Wars, you know. So anyway, sorry. So yeah, loads of people saying hello. Hello, can't say hello to everyone, but hello to all of you. Lovely to see you all coming in. Nadia, I have a blurry eye. It's due to having a dry eye condition. Nadia tends to thrust the wrong eye lenses into her eyes.
I might have put the wrong lens into the wrong...
Joy, our chief medical officer in Ireland has announced that the island has now flattened the curve. He said the disease will have to behave itself and the reproduction rate has to remain low. That's good. That's good news. In Gozo, we're on week 6 quarantine. I've lived here 10 years and met my husband on holiday here when I was 20. Wow. Holiday romance turning into a lifestyle.
Oh, wow. And what, sorry, how many years?
10. She's lived there for 10.
Oh, wow.
And she got there when she was... she met her husband when she was on holiday there when she was 20.
Wow. And how long have you been in quarantine? 6. Week 6.
Week 6.
So we're going into week 5, aren't we?
So can we,
we're week 5 next week.
Yeah, we're more than week 4. We're going into week 5, yeah. I think we've done 4 weeks and we've got theoretically 3 more to go. But let's talk about Captain Tom Moore.
Oh, is this the lovely old guy that raised 2 million?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to pull up the story.
Do you know about him, guys? He's a war veteran. He's 99.
99.
Yeah.
And he pledged originally that he'd do 100 walking lengths of his garden.
Yeah.
And he only aimed to raise 1,000. Well, do you want to know what he's raised? How much do you think he's raised? What was he at when you were last?
I know it's gone global. 2.2 million last.
Yeah.
5?
21 million.
No!
21 million. Isn't that phenomenal?
God, make me cry.
21 million, hang on. And this is going to make you cry even more. At the end of the day, he says, we shall all be okay. The sun will shine on you again and the clouds will go away.
Because he's been through 2 wars. He has all these little medals on.
Yeah,
my God.
A petition to have him knighted has been signed by 500,000 people.
Oh, my God.
And they're arranging, my granddad would have loved this, they're arranging a Spitfire salute is reportedly being planned. The Spitfires are going to fly over. For his 100th birthday later this month. Now, if that happens, it needs to be on the effing telly. It needs to be on the telly. I want to see that. What do we think of Captain?
Jill says he's done a song now with Michael Ball.
He hasn't. With Michael Ball. The weird thing about... That's so weird. Look, he's amazing. He had cancer also. He overcame that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know why.
Yeah,
Captain Tom Moore...
he is all that is good. I remember when Nanny Thelma was in hospital and we were talking to one of the nurses and she said, you cannot believe how many 90-year-olds, 95-year-olds we have in here that just cannot be knocked down. She says, there is something about that generation that is just, she said, you just can't put your finger on it.
He does need to be knighted. He needs like the best pride of Britain. I mean, and you know, let's look at the ambition there. All he said was, I'm going to walk, what was it, 100 lengths of my garden.
100 times round his garden.
Yeah, 100 lengths of garden. And I just love that.
How big his garden is.
I just love that.
And he's got a little roll.
I know. At the end of the day, we shall all be okay. The sun will shine on you again and the clouds will go away.
And he says, but the trouble is, you see, with this enemy, he said it's invisible.
Yeah, I know.
When he said that, made me cry.
So that was just, I just think that's heartwarming, it's positive.
That's a lovely
story.
News.
And some more good news for football fans is Football League games are to be resumed behind closed doors. So there's going to be no audiences. Right. But we are, I think, about to enter a new dawn and a new age.
Everyone is finding their way to continue on. Don't forget this movie.
No, absolutely. And they're going to do them behind, and they're going to show the matches on television. Now, could this be the future of football? Could this be the future of mass sports? I mean, we do have this remarkable technology where you can watch sport in more close-up detail on telly than you can with I remember going to see Tottenham play many times as a boy. Yeah, the atmosphere is great, but I never saw a effing football kicked. I went to a match where Glenn Hoddle scored a hat-trick. I watched the pitch and I couldn't tell you anything I saw. And I just remember thinking at the time, I'd rather watch this at home. So I think that's kind of encouraging for football fans and all that kind of stuff. I know most people on this probably hate football. I'm not an enormous football fan, but I think, again, it's just the ways in which we find it. And I was reading yesterday, here's a fascinating thing, phase 1 in America for how they're going to come out of things. Apparently a document was leaked in Washington. Cinemas are going to sell tickets at 1/3 of their opening capacity. And restaurants are also going to be encouraged to have half capacity or 1/3 capacity in restaurants. So, lots of thoughts are moving towards how we're going to
What about all those
get back to
restaurants
normal
that
life.
I hate, actually, where you all have to share a table?
Well, I was thinking Wagamama's and all those places where I always say I don't want to eat with somebody else.
I don't like eating with
I don't like eating with somebody else. What other bits of news that I think we should listen to and think about, which aren't necessarily great news, but we are at a critical point with the PPE this weekend.
I know, they're being asked to reuse.
Well, they're being asked to reuse, but the union, the medical union, is it union? Is it Unison? They are saying that they're going to ask their staff not to work.
Yes. No, that was the nursing.
Yeah.
Earlier this week said don't work if you're not.
Yeah, so there is a real push here. I mean, and apparently it's crunch point this weekend, isn't it? It's crunch point this weekend with PPE that we're about to run out and they're being asked to reuse aprons and things like that. Why has this happened?
Because, well, I watched Matt Hancock yesterday explaining this, that there is a global rush to get them, and they missed. I mean, they missed that email.
Was that the missed email from the European Union?
Yeah, they missed it. Well, but everybody. I mean, let's be fair here. Okay, let's be fair. There's lots the government. I mean, this is unprecedented. I mean, they suddenly want. I mean, they have moved 1 billion pieces, and it's just a lag this weekend, and there will be more next weekend, which I can completely understand. I completely understand it. We're in very, very difficult times, and the whole world wants this equipment. Well, I mean, there isn't a country that I mean, America's the same, isn't it? They're short. They're very short.
Well, Oliver Masterson makes a good point. A washed one is better than none.
Exactly.
It's true. Yeah, very true. And I mean, I suppose you do. It's easy to get outraged and irate because you see this. But I guess Unison and unions and people they've got to be bodies protecting our frontline workers.
Yeah.
Now,
but I do think the politicians are between a rock and a hard place because the whole world wants these bloody aprons.
Yes. Yeah. Tam Trainer, you prefer going to the ground, read football, not the same on TV. I agree atmospherically, but would you prefer going to the ground if you knew you could die of coronavirus? I'd probably rather watch it on television myself.
So were you talking about before the virus is cleared, if people want the choice, that's what you're talking about. You're not talking about removing the game.
Sorry.
What are you talking about? Well, she was just saying, I prefer it. And you went, yes, but not if you're going to get coronavirus. No. I'm saying, because it sounded
Until we get to a point where there's a vaccine.
But that's not what it sounded like. You said maybe this is going to be the change of football. So it sounded like you were saying
forever. Oh, well, I also think it generally could be. Because I think wherever we get to, let's say it's 18 months down the way. I mean, vaccines were sought after for Ebola, for SARS. They weren't arrived at. We may have to face the fact that this is something that we tolerate within our day-to-day lives for a much more considerable amount of time. Yes, there might be a vaccine, but there are more unknowables than knowables about this disease. Right down to the fact that even today the WHO said that antibodies tests aren't going to be emphatic in their analysis. The WHO are today querying the validity of antibodies tests. But the other thing that's facing a bit of a crisis...
that's nice.
What's that?
Dawn said her spark of joy, and she looks so forward to it. It's our quiz, our Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
So don't forget that, guys.
I'm sure I'm going to be utterly humiliated again.
Maddie is going to do a 7:30 Instagram live where she's going to sing for us again because everyone loved that last week. So go to our Instagram at 7:30 and Maddie's going to do an Insta gig. So you've got music and then we've got a quiz and it's totally coronavirus free. We did it last week, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And we were live for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I don't know whether it'd be as long as that this time or maybe even be longer. And we didn't mention coronavirus once.
No.
And talking about, we'd set the goal of 1,000. We didn't get to 20 million. But we were absolutely gobsmacked that you guys donated $3,000 in the end. Over the next few days, people kept donating $3,000. I think today we're going to be raising for a domestic violence charity. We haven't, because it's a bit late, we haven't sort of worked out which one yet, but I'll set up a Just Giving page. So please join us tonight. We had so much fun.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. You might not get a notification, but we will be here at 8
And that's
o'clock.
because YouTube is struggling to notify everyone of everything because so many people are on YouTube. Emma Thorpe, my uncle is having to wear swimming goggles for operations. Oh my God, because there aren't enough. Swimming goggles, imagine that, in operations.
Mind you,
Good.
we're in a war situation, it's innovation, and as long as they're sterilised and they do the job. Did anyone see that thing that was trending on Facebook the other day, the woman that put the saucepan lid, she had a hoodie like this, and then she put a saucepan lid. Let me see if I can do it. That's so funny.
Can you explain to me, Nadia, you know more about Bill Gates to me. Emma Gillard wants to know why everyone keeps mentioning Bill Gates.
Because Bill Gates has been very critical of Trump.
Right.
Taking the money from the WHO. Hopefully he will be able to put that money in because he said it's...
You look like something out of Space 1999.
What happens in that?
Yeah, no. That's good. And there's holes to breathe through. That's very good.
Check my nose is really strong.
I must take a photo of you, actually. That's good for innovating. Is there a hole to breathe through?
Yeah.
It's going to get quite... Stay there for a minute and let's see how condensation-y it gets, yeah? Just
Quite a heavy pack.
And you're beginning to lose... You're beginning to lose visibility. I can't see you. This is like a scene from... It's like you've got a handle for a nose.
There was this woman on Facebook that did it. I thought it was so funny. Maybe I should copy her and do a film.
Looks like E.T. Phone Home. You need wipers. You do need wipers. Shout out, please, for Broxbourne Sewing Group making scrubs for Hertfordshire hospitals. Rosanna Belcher, Broxbourne Sewing Group. Good on ya. Keep sewing.
Thank you, Amelia. Yeah, that's a good tip. Thank you for that.
What?
She's asking me how I'm doing for running. She said, try and get your trainers a bit bigger, and breathing properly really helps. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest. We've got a bit agoraphobic this week, and we've been too scared to go to the park. But I really want to do a run. Well,
I felt a bit jangly. I vlogged on my way round to the corner shops to get some necessities, and I felt a bit jangly out there. If I'm honest, I felt a bit jangly.
I've definitely got a bit agoraphobic.
It's very ghostly out there. It's very ghostly. There's a pond just near us, and it's very ghostly. But here's the other thing. I didn't even think about this. Did you know local councils are on the edge financially? They can't cope with social care demands. So I didn't realise that local councils effectively are run like businesses. I mean, I knew they had budgets and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know a local council could fail.
Well, and I think the food banks, are getting, people are not eating. That's what we mustn't forget.
Yeah.
People are really, apparently food bank, I was sort of torn between raising this week for a food bank charity or for domestic violence.
Well, why don't we do one this week and another the next? It does feel strange out there, doesn't it, Helena Ruth?
How are you finding the supermarket?
Oh, yeah, you were saying, so what were you and Dina, you were talking to Dina on the phone?
Because we just go really early, don't we, to get ours. And I've got deliveries that come from farm shops, and I've got fruit and veg from Lola's Cupcakes and stuff like that. But my sister was saying that all her friends are having a nightmare. We go very early to get our bits, and it's not very early. We go late. We go in the evening because it's not so busy in the evening. But
Between
people
7 and
apparently
10.
are still doing their same, following their same routine, intending to go on a Saturday morning. It's like, you don't need to go on a Saturday morning anymore because we're all available 7 days a week. So have you been finding it a nightmare?
I'm hearing that between 7 and 10 p.m. is the best time to shop in most supermarkets. I was looking online.
Because people don't want to queue at night. And I think a lot of people are going in the daytime because they're bored, so it gives them something to do. To go to the supermarket. It's because I drank my coffee so fast.
You're going to burp on me or something. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to then vomit.
Yes, we can. Happy birthday to Lewis. He's 13. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lewis. Happy birthday to you.
Sorry, suddenly Nadia goes off on one. I didn't know what you were looking at or what was going on.
So can you read?
Yeah, sorry. What was that I just read?
Morrison's. I didn't know Morrison's delivered. You had a Morrison's delivery. I didn't know they delivered.
Chrissy, you can have a shout out for your husband, Mark. All he ever says is do your Mark.
Mark!
There you go. Sorry, I just read something. The reason I didn't quite hear you. I just read something that was really, really, really distressing, and I just want to find it.
Let me just read that
Hang on.
Somebody there just said he can't cope, and he ended up crying. Can't cope with the supermarket. Ended up crying in the car.
Right. Oh, this was why I was not paying attention to the singing Happy Birthday. Ray Ellen Chamberlain, my dad's friend, has just tested positive. He had no symptoms at all, just collapsed on the floor, had a major heart attack and stopped breathing. He's now on a ventilator. Did anyone hear the story of 5 people individually found in Merseyside? Just 5 bodies, 3 in 3 houses, 2 in the street.
But you see, what that will be is because he's got a heart problem. That's the thing. I mean, that's
what you mean? He may have had an underlying
heart
condition that perhaps hadn't been detected.
Maybe Ray. Maybe that's the thing.
I think that's what the government's concerns are about just letting everyone out. It's not that people, I know we think that most people with underlying heart. You could describe all the people who we know as having underlying health conditions as having them. But the vast majority of people have underlying health conditions that they don't know about. And are you willing, I guess, as a government to take the risk of highlighting how many people have those underlying conditions in this most horrendous of ways?
I know.
I mean, that's so difficult, Ray. I'm sorry, that's what distracted me from... What's that, James Flanagan? That's how the top dogs in the UK thank the NHS reusing PPE. Incredible to think the leading countries are overwhelmed, but also we're the last countries to shut down because the economy was more...
I'm sorry, I don't care how many times people say, oh, they were following the science. We shut down too late. It's just as simple as that. We locked down. Cheltenham and the rugby was a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace.
It's an absolute disgrace.
Marlene Lovey, I don't have Instagram. Could Maddie sing on this channel, please? Marlene, we'd love to, but we're not allowed to with YouTube. We risk them shutting down the channel because of, it's crazy, isn't it? It's literally crazy. Because if she sings her own songs that she's written, we would be in trouble for her copyright.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. What about if she sang one that she hasn't yet released?
Yeah, that's the only, or one that she hasn't registered on her Spotify account. That's the way to do it.
Oh, well, we'll get her to do some. Yeah, let's get her to do some in the vlog.
Because there's just an algorithm that picks up something that she registers her tracks for her own copyright.
She might say, I don't want to do a new one before I've written. So we'll ask her. We'll ask her if she can sing us one. Been watching your channel for 2 years. First time I've caught a live.
Bloody hell.
Oh, we're the only channel Nat Blue subscribes to. Nat Blue, hello and welcome. We're doing lives every day, 7 days a week at the moment, right through lockdown. So, yeah, we usually do 11 o'clock in the morning, changes in the evening, depending on what's going on, but any time between 8 and 10. But we usually let you know in the morning.
Margie Wright, we can give a shout out to your daughter Amy, who is a nurse and she's feeling low because she can't see her boyfriend.
Oh, Amy,
you're one of our heroes.
You are, sweetie.
Yeah, and believe me, this will be over and you will be able to see him.
Oh, Maddie is in agony not seeing her boyfriend at the moment as well. Real agony. Laura, I have a heart condition and taking every precaution possible. Yeah, that's what we got to do, haven't we? We just got to stay in. Marlene Lovey. Thanks, guys.
Just working my way through Raspberry Pips at the moment.
Henrietta Henson, I was watching you at 3 a.m. What were you watching? Wow. Were you watching something funny or something miserable?
What were we doing at 3 a.m.?
Energy Lady has been watching everything we do. Oh, that's cool.
Anne Murray says Cheltenham was done for herd immunity.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed to do herd immunity at that time. The WHO said that they were laughing in the meeting because they thought it was a quirky British sense of humour. They didn't realise we were actually... There is no herd immunity yet because the virus is too crazy.
Yeah. Lynn Aoki, you're right. Japan has only just declared, or a couple of days ago, declared a state of emergency, but they're just now waking up to it in Japan. My daughter lives there. I'm so effing angry. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought Japan were on top of it.
No. Well, we all thought that, and then, of course, they just weren't.
It's very un-Japanese, aren't they? They're very good at sort of like...
We have only been in lockdown for 26 days. God, this is going so fast, sorry.
Hannah Prentice, I think school opening in June is just stupid. I think a lot of people won't let their kids go.
I think for the end of a half of term, it seems a bit bizarre, doesn't it?
I don't think they'll.
But I think your point is the most valid. I think they're worried that kids will just be so out of the routine. But I think just a short, sharp shock of 3 or 4 weeks is going to serve no one any purpose.
Oh, Laura M, tired teacher here, planning on making your eggy bread donuts for the kids in school we're looking after in school next week. Yes, you can get a hello.
Hello,
Laura M. What's your school? And we can do a hello to
And let's have a
school as
shout
well.
out to those teachers who are going in, because there are some who are going in for the children of key workers, obviously. So, you know.
Yeah, big shout out for the teachers.
I'm suddenly freezing cold again.
I'm all right now. I've put in.
Frozen. Even my Dennis the Menace jumper isn't keeping me warm.
Sonia, I won't allow. You smell nice. Have you got your creed on?
Yeah.
You smell lovely.
Do that again.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Just watch Liz Lowe. Just watch the episode when Mark got burnt with a handprint on.
Don't raise that can of worms.
Oh my God, we got absolutely bollocked on Instagram for
pilloried.
that. Oh my God, they even rang my work to complain about me. Trolls, can you believe it?
Ridiculous.
As being a bad influence. Would you please wish Katie...
Grace Kelly Foylan, would you please wish Katie a happy 16th birthday? We can do more than that.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie. Happy birthday to you.
YouTube just
Karen
collapsed.
Smith, binged listen to your How to Stay Married so far. How can you bear to? I can't
I thought
bear.
you had a really good idea for one today. We had quite an intense chat this morning, me and Nads, off the back of me going to AA and stuff like that this week. And I thought it was a really sensible suggestion of doing a How to Stay Married, about how sometimes it's quite tough to do a How to Stay Married.
Because Mark's been nagging me every week for the last 4 weeks.
No, only
and it
because
hasn't
I
felt
get
right.
lots
Don't
of people.
start.
I get lots of people contacting me. Believe it or not, forget the YouTube side of things. On iTunes, it's an enormous hit.
I know.
It's an enormous hit.
But
And there's
part
a lot
of why
of
it's
people
an
who feel
enormous
it's a
hit is because it's very, very,
It's
very tough
difficult.
to do, guys. It's really, really tough. And I said to Mark this morning, I said, sometimes I just don't want to do it because it's very, we have to dig deep into our stuff. We have to talk about it. And sometimes it's just, so it works better for me if I have a bit of a break from it and then I do it.
Lorraine Salt, will you be reviewing Tiger King? Yeah. Will we?
Oh, yeah, we're doing it today. Sorry, Mitch M. Nadia, would you consider giving a donation to Women's Trust, a great charity who offer free counselling to women going through domestic violence? What's it called? Women's Trust. Let me write that down and I'll have a look at them. Oh,
Is your
would you remember that? Women's Trust.
Women's Trust.
Women's
Is
Trust.
your newest, where's that gone? Is your newest podcast on YouTube yet? Which one's that?
We did, one went out on Friday for...
But it's not a YouTube one, it's just iTunes. It's
That's the
Confessions of a Modern Parent.
Yeah, because we do two. You might not know we do two podcasts.
Yeah.
Emily Caswell, I was living in Australia.
Oh, sorry.
I was living in Australia, but had to come back to the UK. My boyfriend is now on the other side of the country. Maddie came in the other day and she just flopped onto the kitchen side and she went, why are we having lockdown when I've just got a really nice boyfriend? Because just the end of February, her and Patrick got together. And that's it, and she said, I've been single for years. And it's just so unfair, isn't it?
Yeah.
She really worries about it. J.Ed Kershaw, I just want to send you a heartfelt thank you as someone who struggles with health anxiety. These little chats have calmed me so much. So thank you so much. Oh, bless you. And they calm us as well. Mark and I were talking about these chats just before we came on and we said, they're really good for us as well. And also we are, we know that we're very lucky to have each other and to be in lockdown, within a mini community. And we know lots of you are on your own. So we really do think of this like, could just have a coffee with the mates, have a coffee with your mates. So I'm glad that's how you're feeling about it.
Jenniella Cook, my therapist is saying they will be overwhelmed with PTSD anxiety. I have both already, so it's a familiar feeling for me, but for many it will be new. Interesting you should say that, because in the AA meetings I was in, we were talking about, or someone was talking about, the ways in which, one of the main concepts behind 12-step recovery programs is admitting you're powerless over whatever substance it is you're addicted to, but also metaphorically admitting you're powerless over things outside your control, thus the serenity prayer. And this guy was making an interesting point about the fact that in a way, we're sort of already pre-programmed into trying to accept powerlessness. And for a lot of people, the idea that you're powerless over this is going to be a real struggle. And it will create trauma. It will create PTSD and anxiety, because I think a lot of people don't realise how much what they do every day in such a regulated and sort of almost driven manner is about controlling the uncontrollable and making sense of the ineffable and all that kind of stuff. And I think this will be a real challenge to so many people. And I think you're absolutely right, Jenny. I think there'll be a short-term hit of kind of increase in mental health issues. I think, as I've said a couple of times recently, I think there'll also be a delay as life gets back to a new normal. And then I think there'll be a new depression as people return to certain elements of their lives that they probably don't necessarily want to return to. Thus, you know, things like the compulsive chase of success and agendas, even like, you know, you could even feel it in all the papers, you know, none of us are sleeping properly, but now we're chasing sleep apps, sleep therapy, sleep, you know, everything is chased and consumed and,
We'll settle down though, we will settle down because we're going to be in lockdown for a while. We'll settle down, we'll find a new way, and I think some of it will seep into our lives. But I think one of the most important things, and what Mark was just talking about there, is to admit powerlessness, to say, I have no... And in that, you can find some peace. I actually do find peace in it. I think I'm utterly powerless. For the first time ever, we can't really be saying, oh, what if this happens tomorrow? What if that? Because all of us across the globe have no idea. So I say, about 10 times a day, I'll say, as it rises up, I say to myself, let go, let God. God just means to me power greater than us, not in a religious sense. And I, as I say, let go, let God, and I let it out and I move on, because we can't actually affect change. We can't. Yeah. It's just literally nothing we can do. So all we can try and do is just try and have the best day that we can, one day at a time.
Jenny Ella Cook, we've literally just been talking about your comment there, so you don't need to post it again just for your sake. We're very lucky to have you. I literally look forward to watching you, so thank you guys. Louise Jones, what a lovely thing to say. We look forward to talking to you, so thank you.
Yeah. So later on today,
what's happening today?
Don't forget, well, in a minute we're going to do the cooking
for the Sunday show.
I'm doing chili con carne today. And I hope some of you are checking out our cookery films as well, because like we say, everything we put in the Sunday show, we don't steal from the main channel. So it's all new, the stuff on the, so, you know, that's why we're doing regular cooking on the main channel now as well. But if you want to join the members area, it's $1.99 a month, just a month. And some people got a bit confused about that and thought that they couldn't then see stuff on the main channel, but you can. You get everything that you've got on the main channel as normal. But the members area we have an extra live a week, and we do the Sunday show,
which is a nice pull together of food. The teens
we get the papers, and we do paper reviews,
topical news stories.
We get book reviews, and Teddy does his Teddy Talks, and the teenagers do their teen memes.
Nanny Di's phoning in a book review this week.
Yeah, so we're going to try and get her to download Skype over the phone, because we Skype Teddy's Teddy Talks, obviously, because we can't see him, and we want to. It would be nice to Skype her, really. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to join, you can join at any point. There's a little box under the film here, and you just click on join, and off you go. And if you're new to the channel, put Heather West scarf. It was not funny, Mark, saying bum bum yesterday.
Poo, poo, bum bum poo poo wee wee.
Oh, Sonia, I'm just sad you feel
Willy.
Unwell.
Who?
Sonia Dean feels unwell. Listen,
Sonia,
8 o'clock tonight, the quiz, all here. You don't have to donate money if you can't give £1 or anything. Just your presence is all that we want.
Just your verbal presence.
But if you want to donate as little as £1, we see the pound as much as we see. Somebody donated last week £250, and that meant as much to us as the person that donated £1. So whatever, we're really touched and moved by your generosity. So tonight, one of our followers, and we will name her
AJB29, sent the questions through.
Oh, that's it. AJB29. AJB. Thank you so much. Mark and I are going to sit and have a look at them after this. And so she's done loads of questions from the vlogs. So if you want to watch the vlogs today and catch up, and yes, I'm going to randomly choose tonight. I haven't told Mark this yet. I'm going to randomly choose. We can't say first come, first served, anything like that. I can't do that because it gets into a right old mess. And it's not going to be a prize. I'm just going to randomly choose somebody that joined in to the quiz, and I'm going to send them a little present. And it's just going to be a little present.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pair of your knickers?
Mark! Why do you want to attract weirdos?
What do you mean I'm the biggest weirdo there is?
So anyway, so we will, in the quiz, we'll probably be doing drunk singing, drunk dancing. We might do a little bit of...
It was hard work. I'm going to get you to do your multitude of dances.
Oh, we'll swap it. Oh,
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
last week at the end, we got Mark to do all different
been
kinds of
injured
dance.
all week. Christine Bett, I'm pleased you like the Netflix series You. It's very good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my God.
Yeah, so hopefully lots of you are going to join us for the quiz tonight. Don't forget, 8 o'clock. You might not get a notification. Just be here at 8. 7:30 on our Instagram from Maddie's gig. You stay with the Sawalha-Adderleys. We'll get you through this lockdown day at a time.
Day at a time, a minute at a time. 1 minute at a time.
1 day at a time.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Have fun.